Sup, you beautiful bastards? Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show. And a quick note before we get started. 1, I missed talking to you beauties so much last week. 2, I want to thank all of you for your understanding, your support, all of your kind words. And 3, as of right now, I think it's best I don't go into it further about why I had to take that time off. Time off made it a much more manageable situation, and hopefully we all get a positive outcome. That said, let's jump into the first story of the day. And the first thing we're going to talk about today, the most requested story today, and that is YouTube censorship. There was an outcry from creators last week and over the weekend, and it is now gaining a ton of traction. And you may have already seen some of the headlines. YouTube is now restricting LGBT plus videos, and it's wrong in so many ways. YouTube censors LGBTQ content, but still lets children watch white supremacist videos. Or the least clickbaity of the not happy about this headlines, YouTube blocks LGBTQ videos under restricted mode. And so that's the story here, YouTube's restricted mode. If you go into your settings, right there at the top, it says restricted mode filter. You have 2 options, don't filter or strict filter. You know, it's like when you order a sandwich. Would you like no mayo or the entire jar? Nothing in between, because why would we offer that as an option? So people discovered that this was a thing last week. They tested it out and realized, oh no, a lot of the channels I watch don't have any videos that I can now view under this mode. An example, if you put the filter on, 0 of my videos show up. It looks like I have a blank channel. But for the most part, this story never really blew up to where it's at now until the LGBT community realized that they were being blocked. And large creators started being vocal about this. Tyler Oakley tweeting, one of my recent videos, 8 black LGBTQ plus trailblazers who inspire me, is blocked because of this. I'm perplexed. Until we hear back from YouTube, please actively check on all LGBTQ plus creators you're subscribed to and continue to support the content. Other creators pointing out their coming out videos were restricted. The trans community was also affected. One of the largest creators on this platform, Gigi Gorgeous, she made a video where she pointed out that YouTube restricted all her videos talking about gender identity. She goes on to say that the situation is scary. She doesn't think there's any ill intent, but the effect here is very negative, saying that for her and many others, YouTube was a place where they felt safe, accepted, and felt that they could be proud of who they were. One of the most interesting quotes I saw in regards to why people should be angry about this was, it's making love not innocent. It's making discussing love by not straight people not innocent and not age appropriate. It's a step back for LGBT plus representation as well for YouTube, when it's supposed to be a platform for people to speak their mind and their real experiences. For some people, their entire accounts have no to little content with restricted mode on, making it seem like they made nothing, making their work just disappear. And YouTube responded to this backlash on Twitter, writing, "We are so proud to represent LGBTQ plus voices on our platform. They're a key part of what YouTube is all about. The intention of restricted mode is to filter out mature content for the tiny subset of users who want a more limited experience. LGBTQ plus videos are available in restricted mode, but videos that discuss more sensitive issues may not be. We regret any confusion this has caused and are looking into your concerns. We appreciate your feedback and passion for making YouTube such an inclusive, diverse, and vibrant community." Now to me, that seems like a vague, on-purpose, non-apology that doesn't really explain anything. When I reached out to YouTube for a statement, I was forwarded to this same public statement, which once again brings us to the biggest problem for YouTube as always, communication. Now what I will say before talking about my full opinion on this is I kind of understand where both sides are coming from. YouTube's saying there isn't a big effect here, there's a small selection of users that want to strictly censor YouTube. So if you're talking about mature things, sexual things, people can opt in to avoid things like that. And the big point here is opt in. This is not the default. There are people that are angry about 2 separate things. There are people that are angry about pure age gating and demonetization of their videos. And if you've watched my channel for a while, you know all about the demonetization issue. And that's an issue that's the same for some, but separate for most of who are angry about this restrictive mode, because they're seemingly not publicly demonetized or age gated, but their videos aren't appearing in restrictive mode, which YouTube is going to point out time and time again. It is not the default, it is an opt-in setting. You're not actually being censored. You're saying that it only blocks one kind of content, but the actual video is being restricted. It seems like it was just buckshot, whether people are talking about sexual prosthetics or they're just talking about coming out. It's being restricted, so if I'm just talking about myself and my life, you're restricting me. You're saying I'm not suitable for everyone. And then other creators out there saying, well, also, why are my videos being blocked under restricted mode? Their explanation doesn't really make sense, especially when even my last video where I was like, sorry guys, I'm not here right now, not gonna make a video this week, even that was blocked under their restricted mode. Which once again, in this scenario, I'm not personally complaining. I just think this is classic YouTube handling the situation in the worst possible way. I tried to get more answers, they didn't give me more answers. I'd love to know when they're saying that YouTube restricted mode is meant to handle mature content. So are we saying this content is 18 plus? Is it just not teen friendly? Are we talking anyone over the age of 3 plus? Because if you're talking about the very young kids, why even include this mode? There's already an app called YouTube Kids. It's massive. Millions and millions of parents out there trust their kids with this app because of their parental restrictions. So who exactly are you trying to protect here? It is very un-YouTube to try and do something for 1 to 4% of the people that use YouTube. And also, if possible, give us answers. If you're rating our channels as kid-friendly, teen-friendly, or mature, why not just let us know where we're ranked? Let us know what content we put out that got us there, so at least there are examples and it doesn't feel like you're just switching things up. And let us know, is there a way to get a different rating over time? If there's more than a certain number of videos that are dinged mature, is that why certain channels are then completely blank under restricted mode? And just talk to your creators. As a company, it is okay to say you're testing something and admit fault. The only filter settings you have are none and strict, and if you just said we're testing out this new thing, we only have two extremes of it right now. Thank you for letting us know something was wrong, or no, we as a company have decided that these topics, these discussions are not for, tell us where your age range is. It's not appropriate for 17 and under, 13 and under, 4 and under. Give people answers or they will assume the worst. Because that's what human beings do. When we don't have information, we fill in the blanks with the worst possible scenario. When I was 17 and my girlfriend didn't call me one night, my mind automatically said, no, she's probably not asleep. She's having a train run on her. Found out her father was in the hospital that night. But the main point I want to get across in this story is I understand why there is so much concern, there is so much outrage, but I also don't believe that YouTube is trying to do anything bad here. I think what we're seeing here is poor execution, explanation, and communication in general. And it's also important to remember that it's not just the LGBT community that's affected here. A big part of this conversation is putting people that live a different life or have different thoughts into an other category. A category that is seen as different, treated as such, and is potentially in the early stages of being withheld or more easily withheld from people. But of course, that said, this is the Philip DeFranco Show. It's not just me telling you the news, giving my opinion. I want to know what you're thinking. What's your opinion on this? Do you think that people are freaking out about nothing? Do you understand why some of the videos should be restricted? Or no, you think that YouTube's in the wrong here, that this is just the beginning of more, that this is YouTube's way of making things advertiser friendly. That's the long goal, and this is just the beginning, and people are becoming aware of it. Maybe something in between. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. And from there, I want to share some stuff I love today, and Today in Awesome brought to you by squarespace.com/Phil. Squarespace, of course, the place to go if you want to make a beautiful website with their easy all-in-one platform. There's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. It's intuitive, it's easy, they have award-winning 24/7 customer service. So if you want to make the smart move like many from the nation already have, go to squarespace.com/Phil to start your free trial. And if you really like it, use coupon code Phil for 10% off your first purchase. And the first bit of awesome is self-promo awesome. On top of the Philip DeFranco Show coming back this week, the Vlogity also came back. I really loved today's video. I tried not to rage very, very hard. Highly recommend you check it out. Then we got a fantastic video from Corridor. It's called Nerf John Wick, and it's essentially John Wick if John Wick only included Nerf guns. If you appreciate the John Wick movies, I think you will appreciate this. Then we got a fantastic trailer for American Gods. And I gotta say, this show gets me excited enough to get a Starz free trial once the whole season's out so I can binge watch it and then cancel my subscription. Because I'm sorry, Starz, it's HBO, Showtime, you. That's really it as far as I have to pay to add you to a package sort of channel. But it looks great. Then if you have a friend that's in the middle of a diet, send them this video, you know, because you're a horrible person and you do horrible things. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. Then, I know that we just came out of Today in Awesome, but my favorite bit of non-news today is this audio of Shaquille O'Neal, former basketball player, now commentator, saying this.
What did you make of the Kyrie stuff?
I don't. It's true.
What?
The Earth is flat.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat. I drive from coast to coast, and the shit's flat to me. I'm just saying.
Okay, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I do not go up and down in a 360-degree angle and all that stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside of Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? So you mean to tell me that China is under us? China is under us.
If you keep
They are under us.
Isn't that what they tell you when you're a kid?
The world is
If
flat.
you don't,
Shaquille O'Neal is a flat earther. He believes that the earth is flat, and who would have imagined the man who thought Kazam was gonna be an awesome idea was also a flat earther. And that's where I'm gonna leave this story, because if you are one of these people that believe that the earth is flat, I'm not gonna convince you it's not. I think it's important to be skeptical of what we're taught and we're told. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal makes a reference to Christopher Columbus.
In school, first thing they teach us is, oh, Columbus discovered America. But when he got there, it was some fair-skinned people with the long hair smoking out of peace pipes. So what does that tell you? Columbus didn't discover America.
And he's right. In school, I was taught Christopher Columbus was essentially a hero. He discovered America. We're here because of him. Good guy. Then I got out of school, did research, and found out that he was a crazy, murdering psychopath. Right? But to compare those two scenarios is ridiculous. One is the skewed retelling of history, which, by the way, get rid of fucking Columbus Day. And I'm not trying to make you guys go to school like keep the day off, but maybe let's call it something else because fuck that guy. And the other scenario is just ignoring science. But also, we really shouldn't give any validity to people that make these outrageous claims. I mean, to me, this isn't even the craziest thing a sports player has said in the past year. There's a guy in the NFL called Will Hayes who believes mermaids are real and dinosaurs are fake, that archaeologists have been just hiding these bones. They're lying, it's conspiracy, and they're pushing their pro-dinosaur agenda. So just treat this as your daily reminder that just because a famous person said something doesn't mean it's true. Cough, cough, Jenny McCarthy, cough, cough. Like if a bunch of scientists were like, this is the only way to escape this disaster. Here's the evidence, come with us. But then B.O.B., Tila Tequila, Shaquille O'Neal, they pull up. And they're like, no, the only way to save ourselves is to go this way. And here are some YouTube videos that say we need to go this way. I'm not going with Shaq. Then in internet privacy news, it seems that we may be on the edge of another huge nude photo leak. Many people saying this could be the Fappening 2.0. And you might remember the events that are now called the Fappening that happened back in 2014. Tons of female stars had their personal private photos blasted out on the internet. Jennifer Lawrence, Lea Michele, Victoria Justice, Michaela Maroney, and reportedly those photos are from when she was underage. It was one of the biggest, craziest stories of 2014. And now in the past week, we've got the news that Emma Watson, Amanda Seyfried, they had their personal photos posted to the internet. Emma Watson's included photos where she was wearing clothes. They say that those were real. And as far as the nude photos, Emma Watson's team said that those are not her. Seyfried, on the other hand, it appears that those photos were real. They show her both nude and in intimate moments. And now other photos and videos of other stars are being released. Sean Penn's daughter, Rose McGowan, Sammy Miro, Katie Cassidy, Paige from the WWE. And these are just the women that have been hit so far. There are posts alleging that many, many more will be revealed soon. And what I'll say is I know there are people that have very strong opinions regarding photos that are released via hacks and leaks and spiteful exes. What I've noticed so far is there appears to be a lot more support for those affected in these scenarios than many of the women in 2014. Especially regarding Paige from the WWE. The fan base there seems to have massively changed. Back when I watched wrestling, which was like the 90s, you had pure sexualization, objectification of wrestlers like Trish Stratus. But fast forward to 2017, there seems to be a lot of respect for women in the sport, and then just seeing the reaction around these leaks, it blows my mind that there's this much support. Now, granted, there are gonna be people that slut shame. But seeing so many people show support, you realize that things are slowly changing. And that's kind of where I just have to end that story, on the only silver lining. And of course, whether it be with this story, the first one, anything in between, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Also, for those of you going, Phil, this is your first day back in a week, why not a 40-minute show? Why didn't you get to insert thing? We have a whole week of videos, and I'm gonna try and catch up on a lot of the big things. We'll talking about new things as they're happening. And if you'd like to recommend stories for me to try and get to this week, or anything at all, of course, you can hit up the subreddit, and you can also hit me up on Twitter. There's a lot I want to get to, and I'd love for you guys to be a part of that process. And that's actually where I'm gonna end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like that the show is back, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you missed the last Philip DeFranco show, you can click or tap right there to watch that now. If you want to see today's brand new vlog, oh my god, I love this one. Click or tap right there to watch that. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.